King Kong New Empire's here, and Godzilla makes a cameo. Initial thoughts, I thought this was fun. There's a lot of stuff happening here. We had a guy at the movie theater we went with, and he was like, it's an apple, it's an orange, it's a banana. There's a lot of fruits in this basket. There's so many things happening.
I'm so conflicted on this one. There's little nuggets of funness, but it's not good.
But it's good, but it's not good.
It's troughs and valleys, my friend.
Mhm.
Troughs and valleys.
It's a roller coaster.
For real.
All right, let's start with our main character, Mr. Kong. He's back. He's really old looking now.
He's legitimately the main character too, because it's a lot of Kong.
I don't know. They made him like old. He's like got like a white beard.
He's
now.
got a beard. He's like Santa Kong.
He's like Santa Kong. I
Santa
like that.
Kong, yeah.
Santa Kong. He's back. Well, not if it's his first time, but he's back. You may have missed this. It's in the trailer. This is not a spoiler. I thought Kong stuff was doing crazy, but there was I think the most iconic scene with Kong in this movie is not what people think it's gonna be. So on the poster, he has this yellow glove thing, right?
Right.
Were you there for the scene when he gets the yellow glove thing?
I had to go to the bathroom and I walked out where they were mentioning the logistics of how they could do the glove, and I just went, yeah, of course. Of course they're gonna. Yeah, why not?
There's so many things in this
Okay.
movie that just happened that's like, we're gonna do this because of that. It's just like, all right. Like,
We've made some minor augmentations.
Oh,
I mean, at the same time, it's like, I appreciate it because it's like, you're not there for the human plot. The human plot's better in Godzilla Kong versus Kong. But in this one, they're kind of just like, we're not really going to try that. We're just going to think of ways to do cooler Kong stuff, which I think this is one of King Kong's coolest movies. He's like swinging around. He made like booby traps. That was crazy.
there's one moment where I went, oh man, my twisted brain would have done this with the movie, and then they did it. And that's when I turned from being like, oh, this is boring and bad to, you've got my attention now.
All right, now we're going to move into the sidekick of the movie, Godzilla. You got Godzilla -1, and now he's taking a back seat for Mr. King Kong. And man, is he going from blue to pink. He's big and gender reveal, and he's killing it.
He's basically just looking for an iPhone charger the whole movie. There's so many characters in this movie, and by characters, I mean humans and monsters.
Oh, we'll get there.
There's just so many things. There's so many things. In fact, there's too many monsters to where the movie went, well, Godzilla kind of has to fight this monster, and then he goes and fights the monster, and then I just wanted a that was easy Staples button every time he did that, because it'd be like, oh, here comes a threat. Godzilla killed him. For the budget, it's some of the silliest stuff I've ever seen.
But
can't
it's
believe they
fun.
made this big of a B-movie schlock fest.
And people, I loved it. I mean, love's a
I
strong
can't
word.
say I loved it, but
The action's
I
fantastic.
enjoyed my time. Now, I wouldn't say I would have enjoyed it had I watched it alone at home. I mean, this
is a friend movie.
This is a popcorn movie that you go to with your buddies and nothing more.
This is a get a red icy, then get some vodka, pour that in your icy, and man,
that would have been a blast.
and make sure you are hammered for that third act. 'Cause
that would have been so fun.
All right, let's jump into the best part of the movie, which is the script.
You had me there for a second. You really had me. Oh, the script it's bad.
I think
All the dialogue is bad.
the dialogue,
all of it.
But what I find
But
interesting,
enjoyably bad. Like
Yes.
intentionally campy. And it's almost like behind the camera they're just like, yeah, we know. We understand.
in the movie prior to this, Godzilla versus Kong, they nailed the human stuff. They're like, we're gonna put them in for the minimal amount to keep the plot going. And I thought those were some of the best people in like a Godzilla.
In Godzilla vs. Kong,
Mhm.
I was bored out of my mind with that one.
I still think it's the best one. But then in this one, it's like, man, like they still have some of the same characters. Just like,
This was a more fun movie than the last one.
yeah,
And if you're
I
going
don't
to
know.
do this schlock, that's the way to go.
that's a tough way to go. Because the one before is definitely just, I think, an objectively just better movie start to finish. But this one's more of just like, okay, we went balls to the wall with the last one, but now we need to like go outside of the walls, more balls. Something that I do love about these movies is that, man, they kill everybody. Like just just like civilians.
The city destruction is off the chain in terms of number of casualties. It's so high. Probably more than Man of Steel. What do you think?
Oh, it's absolutely more Man of Steel.
Yeah, because there's just like, there's skyscrapers and it's just like Godzilla just like farts on it and it falls over, and that's it.
Well, it's in the trailer. This is not a spoiler. I made sure to watch the trailer to know what and wasn't a spoiler. But like, there's a scene in the movie where like Scar King, main big bad guy that we'll talk about, he like just rips half a building off and he just chucks a building full of people Godzilla or whatever.
That's when I was like, oh, I almost had an idea in my head of like, oh, you could do an interesting ecological debate, like, oh, these are unique animals, we need to preserve them, we need to not kill them. That might have been in a past movie.
Kinda, yeah, they do that.
But then at the end I was like, oh, maybe we should kill them all if we're just gonna be like, oh, this fight needs to happen, millions of casualties, we're just gonna be okay with that.
And they kind of say that in this movie too, because it's like when Godzilla will like attack a monster at a city, Dr. Buzzcut lady.
Dr. Scientist.
Yeah, Dr. Scientist lady who's the mom of the Native American girl. I don't know, not Native American, whatever their tribe is.
Lil Savior.
Lil
Savior.
Lil Savior, yeah.
That's all she is. She's a plot device.
She is a major plot device.
She is the MacGuffin in a way.
It was like, you're like, okay, she's useful to Kong, you know, in the last movie, like she was. But then they're like, she does this, she does that, and my God, she's also like these people's Jesus. And I'm like, whoa.
I really like the moment where she drew a thing, and then her mom takes it to an expert because she's like, I don't know what this means. Here's two things. And he looks at him and goes, whoa, they're the same thing.
All right, he is in the trailer. We can talk about Mini Kong, arguably the best and worst part of this movie, Will.
Best and worst part I can agree with, because it's very funny when he does stupid shit, but it's also very annoying when he opens his mouth. It sounds like a Mario character.
He's like, it's like King Kong gets a little sidekick, and it's like,
but
what
he's
is
kind
that?
of a brat.
Yeah, because I think
he's like a little asshole.
Well, I thought he was like a mini Kong, but I think he's like a baby. Because there were other moms with the.
Why would you think he was a mini guy?
I don't know.
No, it's a juvenile Kong. You moron.
My bad. That's the main complaint with this movie.
Wait, did you think it was a different species?
I don't know.
Because it was ginger.
I thought he was like
it was ginger.
I thought he was like a runt of the litter Kong. Like. All right, now we're in the Duke and Nuke section of this video where you give it a Duke if you like it and a Nuke if you don't like it. And personally, I'm going to be duking this movie. It's not a big Duke, it's a little Duke, but I definitely liked it more than I didn't like it. And it is a blast. And man, do not show up to that thing sober.
That's a good piece of advice. Man, I mean, if I'm not inclined to recommend this film.
That's fair.
You know, it's a very specific set of circumstances that lined up and allowed me to have a good time. Yeah, I'm gonna have to nuke it, especially because it's not. I don't think it deserves 2 nukes and maybe 3. Who knows what Blaine's rating is?
Here
it is.
New Godzilla, Kong, exactly what I wanted. Exactly what I wanted. I wasn't needing any crazy plot. I wasn't needing anything well thought out or brand new, or you didn't need to reinvent the wheel here. All I needed was big CGI monsters fighting each other. And my God, that is what they gave us. I will be duking this movie for sure. I enjoyed it. I loved it for what it was. No masterpiece, but enjoyable.
Have you seen Kong Godzilla New Empire? That's not the name of it, but I don't care. Let us know in the comments. I've done this outro so many times and I want to go home. I'm tired. So if you get us up to 1 million likes, I'll finally be able to go to bed and I'll be able to leave Will's basement. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Is that the one you want to go with?
Whatever you think, baby.
I don't care.